Hello, hello, my crafty friends. Welcome back to my craft studio. It's Dion with the Blushing Mint. I am so excited to be back here in my space doing a little craft therapy and a little creating. It's the place that I need to be, and today is a pretty depressing, drizzly. It has been raining, kind of like that Seattle kind of rain for the last, nearly 24 hours ish. And so it's just feeling kind of soggy outside. So it's a perfect day for me to be in my craft space. I just want to thank you guys for coming back to my channel, for being here with me, for continuing to support my channel, even though I haven't been here very often. And it's going to be fairly sporadic for the next several months. Just lots of things that are going on, and I don't have a lot of time to spend. I'm only home for 2 or 3 days a week, and lots of things to do when I'm here, but I want to prioritize my personal need for craft therapy when I am home. And so my goal is to hopefully upload a few videos each week when I'm here, to get them recorded and get them uploaded so that they can be visible for you guys during the weeks when I'm not here. And so, anywho, that is my game plan. And with that being said, I hope you guys are also finding time to craft and create and be in the spaces doing the things that make you your happiest as well. So, you can tell by what's on my desk, I'm ready to start a new project. It's a fairly clean slate here right now, and I am ready to get started on this next project. What I have here is I have my Reader's Digest book. This is the book that I'm going to be using to create this next new project. For this project, you'll need a glue stick of some sort. You'll need some glue. I am using my art glitter glue just because I appreciate that fine tipped nozzle that it delivers. I also have some Liquitex matte gel medium and a paintbrush for that. And then I have my circle punch that I can make the thumb notches for pockets and whatnot in this book. So what are we going to be creating? I just realized I don't have my watch. So you know what? It's all good. Anywho, what are we going to be creating? We are going to be starting an idea journal. Now, it is an altered book style idea journal. And so what is an idea journal? Well, an idea journal is that piece of art that you go back to when you've lost your mojo, when you're just not feeling motivated, or you're trying to come up with some ideas to fill blank spaces in journals, or when you just feel the need to do some mass making and not really having to think heavily about what it is you're going to do. You're going to be turning to your idea journal and flipping through those pages, and in there are going to be projects that you have created, that you have filled the pages of this journal with various projects. And when you need some inspiration, this is going to be the book that you come to for that inspiration. Inside, it's going to be loaded with projects, tucks, pages, uh, tip-ins, just different sort of projects that you can recreate in other journals. You can use these projects as Happy Mail projects. It's just a place to land all of those ideas that you and I have in our heads that we create over time, and then we somehow forget that we have created those. At least that's what happens to me, is I create things and then um, I don't recreate them for a great period of time, and then I forget how to. So in the idea journal, you'll also put any directions in how to create the items, any measurements, any of those things. They'll get tucked inside the pockets or inside the project itself. So then you have everything you need to recreate these items at just a moment's notice. And it's just a great way, it's just a great single item to grab, to just really get back into the swing of things when you really need that extra motivation. So that truly is my definition of what an idea journal is, and that's how I will be looking at and using this journal as we get going. So anywho, the first thing that you need is you need a book. The size of the book doesn't matter. You know, the larger the book, the larger the projects, you know, size-wise that you can put in them. You're literally only limited by the size of your book. Yes, there's a ton of pages in here. There's pictures, there's all that stuff. All we're going to be using is pages, friends. The book that you use, you want to make sure that you can take pages out of it. The reason why I have my matte gel medium here is because if your pages are fairly fragile, you may want to glue 2 pages together to have a nice solid surface to work with. That's something that I'm going to be doing. My pages aren't necessarily fragile. The book that I'm choosing is a book from 1986. But if I'm going to be flipping through and adding things to these pages, they may tear a little bit, or if I add a lot of weight to them, like say I add a paper bag or something like that to them, or I'm flipping paper clips, slipping paper clips in or out, these pages might tear a little bit. So I may glue some of the pages together. So that's really the purpose of the matte medium that I'm going to be using at points in this book. So basically, what we're going to do in this book is we are going to begin creating less pages, less pages than what's here. And in order to do that, we rip out pages in the book, okay? If you are a book lover and you can't handle that, then you should probably stop and turn me off. And when I go to thrift stores or bookshops to look for books, I have had to hone myself and not tell people what I am purchasing the books for, because book lovers really hate when they find out that you are destroying the book. So if you're that person, please check out right now, because you don't want to be here. So now that they're gone, hopefully, we can begin. So what we do here is I always keep my front 2 covered pages, and because this next page automatically flows with that front cover page, I keep that page. I do the same thing in the back. I keep this page and the page that auto flows with it. The content that is on the pages doesn't matter. They're going to get covered. So don't worry about that. So everything else in between this book becomes negotiable. So these are non-negotiable pages. They stay. Okay. Everything else is negotiable, and we can work within the confines of this right here. So what I do is I like to first start by creating some blank pages. So like I would keep this page and this page here, and I would cover these with a pretty paper. And then what I would do is, this is kind of where I will write my own, my own things, like why I am creating this idea journal, kind of the idea behind it. So I'm going to keep those pages. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I am going to glue these next 2 pages together, because I don't need them. I don't, they're going to be hard to cover with a plain paper. And so I'm just going to do a quick brush of gel medium on here. And then I'm just going to glue these 2 pages together. That's my goal. You do not have to use gel medium. You can use your glue stick. You can use whatever glue makes you happy. I'm going to try gel medium. I might not like it. I don't know. I just grabbed it because I thought I would try it. Doesn't mean it's going to work or any of the above, but it just means that I'm going to try it. And then I'm going to get my little block here and okay, so those 2 are glued together. Okay, that leaves me with this next page here, and I'm going to leave this. Now, this page here is going to be the first page that I truly begin to work with in this journal. Okay, and what I want to do is I want to create a side pocket. Okay, so that's a pocket that would be glued at the top and glued at the bottom, and you would slide something in inside. But I need to get rid of some pages out of this journal, because if I was to use every page that's in this book as it sits right now, I would never ever be able to put anything in it, or that spine is going to be backwards by the time we are done. It would be a serious alligator mouth. So I take my first page, and here is where I start getting rid of the pages in this book. I am going to start by removing 2 pages at a time. You can do this however your little heart desires. You can use a craft knife if you want to be super super neat and you worry about what it's going to look like. I rip, friends. I just rip the pages right out. You want to get as close to the spine as you can when you're ripping. And I am going to start by ripping, I think, 6 pages out of, maybe I'll do 8 here. Well, no, let's do 6. Let's just stick with the 6 theory. Okay. I don't think I even have a pair of tweezers out in my little shed here. But you can get in there and you can pinch those little papers out if you don't like them. So now you can see I've got where I've ripped my papers out. I have 6 of them. Guys, save these. Tags, card bases, journaling card bases, glue pages, you know, like you can use when you're making your glue pages. Okay, so I have a picture here on the back that I don't necessarily want, so I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to rip this 7th page out. No rhyme, no reason. I'm just doing it, okay? You can be flexible in how many pages you rip in between your pockets. It is up to you. Sorry, my glue has a little thing on the top of it. So now I want to have a side loading pocket. So that means I am going to glue across the top edge of the paper and the bottom edge of my book. Okay. And then you lay your page over and press it down. And now you have a pocket. Then I'm going to grab my punch, and I think my paper punch is going to hate the book pages. I'm 90% positive of it. Yep. My paper punch hates thin paper. It just absolutely hates them. So that is going to be a problem with book pages. So, anywho, so there is our first pocket of our idea journal. All right. So then I'm going to take learning from this, okay, because I'm super honest when I craft. You get to see the mistakes and all. This is why because my paper punch hates the thin paper, this paper is too thin to work with, I am going to then automatically use my matte medium, and I'm going to glue the next 2 pages together to make them a little stronger. I was afraid of this, and I should have took my cue from how nicely the first 2 pages glued together. So it's okay. It is okay, friends. And like I said, you can do this with a glue stick. You don't need to use matte medium. It's just, I have it. It's in a drawer. I'm going to use it. Okay. So just like I did with the other one, come in here. Glue those 2 together. This becomes my next page, okay? Then I'm going to do a top loading pocket. So I want to go ahead and I want to get rid of about 6 pages. So let's see what that's going to look like here. There's 3. Okay, and 2, 3 more. Okay, and then I'm going to take the next 2 pages and I'm going to glue those together. Okay, so this is going to be the back page of my top loading pocket. And again, your glue stick will work absolutely fine for this project. You do not need to use matte gel medium or anything else. Just use your glue stick if that's what you have on hand. Use what you have. Okay. Okay, so now I have my 2 pages and I'm doing a top load pocket. So this time I want to go ahead. Now remember, you can see here, can you see here? This is where I have ripped those pages out. So I have the front page. Here's my side pocket. Here's my first page. Here's where I've ripped my pages out. This is going to be the back of our top load pocket. So I'm going to glue the bottom and the side to create the top load. Okay, looks like that. Now we're going to get our paper cutter here, or paper cutter, our little circle punch. It should be a little bit more favorable now to what I have going on. Look at that, much better. So now I have a side pocket. I have a top pocket. Here, let me ink this just a little bit so you can see a little better definition here. And definitely the heft of the 2 pages together is much more favorable. To me, I much prefer the feel of that as I go through. So I definitely would recommend that, especially with a book of this size. We have more than enough pages. We absolutely can do that. So I would definitely recommend, if you're using a page that has questionable pages, just put 2 together. Just glue those flat together, and you'll be able to feel that difference. Okay, so we have that. Now I am going to do a side tuck pocket, something like this. Okay, so the first thing I want to do again is I am going to adhere my pages together. Okay. Those first 2 pages become 1 page. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this page onto itself in the back. And I'm going to press that down, and I'm just going to apply glue here. Making sure my edges are secure. And I'm going to glue that down. Okay, now I am going to remove, let's see, sticking up a little bit here. Let me, okay, so then I'm going to take and I'm going to remove 6 more pages from behind that set. Okay. And basically what we're doing is we're just making some different pockets, and I'm showing you some different ways to fold the pockets. And then we're going to make several different folds and different flaps and things like that. So now I am just applying matte medium here again to the next 2 pages. So that last page we ripped out, and then the one directly behind it. Okay. And now the thing I like, I use my bone folder, this shaped bone folder, because it truly presses everything together and it squeezes out any excess glue that we don't need in here. And then I use my baby wipe to just wipe those edges. Okay. Now then, I'm going to take my page here. Let me just ink it, just because I want you to be able to see the definition as I go along here. So I'm going to ink that edge, and this now becomes a little tuck pocket here. So we have a side pocket, a top pocket. Now we're going to have a tuck pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to glue the top and the bottom of this short side. And then I'm going to fold that over onto the other side. And now we have a little side pocket. Okay. Now, as I go, I sometimes like to just do a paper clip to my pockets here. That way I just have them out of my way. So I know these are the pages I've already worked with. They're out of my way. So then I have the next page, and I want to just automatically glue it to the one behind it. Now, this is an idea journal. That's what I'm using for this project. But I just want you guys to know that if you're like unsure about sewing in signatures or creating your own covers or doing anything like this, an altered book, using a book that is already all together, has everything you need, is a great way to do a first journal. If you're just not sure on what to do, altering a book like this, doing the different pages, doing the different type of pockets and tuck spots is a great way to get started on a journal. All right, so for this one, let's do a side pocket like so. So all I'm going to do here is I am just going to fold my top down here, and you can do it however it works for you. Give that a nice little squish. And then you want to glue the back here down so that it is not interfering. So glue that down onto itself. Okay. Like so. So this becomes our front page. And then we are going to tear out 6-ish or so. And I find that if I bend and really work the spine, I can get my pages much closer out of the spine than if I don't. So then I've torn out 6. Now I'm going to adhere my next 2. And my goal when I do this is to just make sure my edges are all very well glued down on these side pages, you know, when I'm gluing the 2 pages together. Okay, so now I'm going to turn around, and this is going to be just glued here and here. Okay. Wipe any excess glue. All right, so now let's look at what this looks like from the top of our book, so you can see how much we have kind of taken out of this book already. Okay, I don't know if you can really see that. So we have glued the 2 together, made a side pocket, a top pocket, a side tuck pocket, an angled pocket. Now let's do another angled pocket on, oops, I need to run a bead of glue right there. So let's go ahead and make this an angled pocket here as well. So we'll take our 2 pages together, and guys, there are 1,000 ways to alter books. I have only ever done 1, maybe 2 altered books. This is kind of a fairly new thing for me. But you can certainly Google and look at ways that people do altered books. I know Gail Augustinelli, she is from Helena, Montana, for those of you who are from Montana. She is our neighbor, Gail Augustinelli. She is on YouTube, and I know that she has done altered books before, and she has quite a few altered book videos on her channel, I believe. So she's a good one, but if you just Google on YouTube altered books, you will find more tutorials than you probably even know. I haven't really watched a lot of them. I just know that they do exist. Kind of like the green M&M and Santa Claus, they do exist. Anywho, for those of you who caught that, thank you so much. Anywho, sorry, that's my humor, friends. That's my humor. But yeah, so there's a million ways to do this. This is just how I am doing this for now. Okay, so I am going to make this a matching pocket on the back here. That's pretty close. So that is going to go, I'm just going to glue this down here. And then we're going to attach this to this side of the page. So then we have a double pocket attached to that. Okay, now after I get like 5 pockets, so to speak, done in the front, I like to turn around, and just because you guys, I don't know why I do this, okay? There really isn't a rhyme or reason. It's just the way that I like to do it. I turn around and I then go to the back of my journal and start doing the same thing. And the reason why for me I do this is because then as I get to the center of my book, if it's still too thick or I need to adjust the amount of pages that I'm tearing out in between, I can do that because as I see the center of my book, I just have a better idea of how to make those adjustments versus and make it a little bit more cohesive looking versus like taking 6 out in the beginning and then all of a sudden I realize I need to take 10 out at the end, and it just looks a little wonky in my opinion. I don't know if it does or not, guys. I really don't. But in my opinion, that's just how it makes me feel. So, anywho, so again, then I leave the back page or 2. And in this, I think I'll just leave this back 1. And then I also have these 2, which are basically blank, and the back cover. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to glue the next 2 pages together. Yeah, I did a really good job with that because guess what? I missed a page. You know, I mean, it's all good. It's all good, friends. Don't worry. It's fine. So I'm going to leave this one as well. And I'll just cover it like everything else. It's all good. No worries. Okay, so I've got 2 glued together. Then I'm going to take out 6. And sometimes I find it a little easier to work upside down here. Okay. Glue these 2 together. amazing how much glue smishes out. When I look at it, I don't feel like I have enough in there to even hold them together. But then when I use my bone folder, it's like, oh yeah, I was good. All right, so this one I'm going to make a top loading just because. No rhyme or reason, friends. Just it's what I feel like making for the back pocket. Okay, here's our pocket. And then I just continue to do the same things, friends. I just continue making additional pockets as I go. So that is really the basis for starting our journal. This is just the basics of getting our base journal made. So basically we are creating the signature, so to speak. If this was a brand new journal project, and you know, for a new journal, if you're doing everything from scratch, the first thing you do is you build your signature. So that's what we're doing with this, is we are building our signature. If you want to look at it from that perspective, I guess that's kind of how I feel about this process. This is the beginning of building our signature. And then from here, we will start adding embellishments and doing those things. But we have to have the base first. So again, I glue 2, tear 6. Oh, that's good. These 2 are going to get glued together, so that's perfect. It all works out. It just all seems to work. All right, so if this was the top, this is going to be a side. And now let me just show you something, because you see me turn in my book back and forth all the time. You're probably half dizzy if you're actually watching it, and I apologize. But you'll see that so these are the 2 pages that need to go together, okay? Now, if I were to try to glue them from this perspective, I don't know if you can see, my pages do not match up over here. And that is because we have been removing the pages. We're altering the way the spine lays a bit. And so they don't match up from here. But if you lay them together over here, they match up perfectly. So these are my 2 pages. They match up perfectly over here on the thick part of the book. So that's the side that I need to be working with. So that's why you see me rotating my book upside down. So here's the one side, here's where we've tore everything out, here's the other side. And this is going to be a side pocket. So I want to go ahead and I want to glue the top and the bottom of these 2 pages, and then fold them over onto the thicker part of the book, not to the cover, but to the center. Okay. And then everything continues to match up that way. All right. So then I need my circle punch. And now we have a side load pocket. Okay. Is that making sense, friends? I don't know if it's making sense or not, but I hope that it is. So those are a few of the pockets that I'm going to show you today. Is just the side load, the top load, a half pocket here, and then the angled pocket front and back. So that's just a few different pocket styles to show you in this video. I'm going to come back with a few other different style of pockets to show you. And then we are going to just continue creating the base of this journal. And then after we get the base of this journal created with our pockets and the pages and things like that, we are going to begin creating the ideas to fill it. And that is what I am most looking forward to. And I'm sure it's truly what most of you are looking forward to as well. But for today, friends, that is what I'm going to call a video. You can continue to keep creating pockets, creating pages, and then we're going to get together and we're going to get this base finished, and we are going to get to creating some ideas. So friends, I hope you are going to be feeling inspired by this altered book. I hope you are joining me in this series, and I can't wait until we get ready to start filling it up. So friends, thank you so very much for being here with me. I just so appreciate your company. I appreciate your support. I just can't tell you enough how much I appreciate it. Please leave a comment below and let me know if you are joining me on this idea journal series. I would absolutely love to know. And until the next time, friends, please stay well, be well, and make sure that you are finding time to do a little crafting of your own. All right, friends, see you then. Bye-bye.